This is going to be a seat of the pants overview of every single tool that is available in Tinker's Construct, starting with the Mattock. Now, this is just like a hoe. I can right click, I can till soil. But guess what? It is also an effective axe. I can chop down wood on trees super quickly, and it does a halfway decent amount of damage as a weapon, so it's a really versatile farming tool. This is the iron longsword. So right click, instead of defending, it sends you sort of crashing into mobs. And you can essentially attempt a critical strike as you jump forward with a hold, right click, and then strike, 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 strike. So you can try to get your critical hits by doing this. So, but it doesn't perform any defense, so it's primarily an offensive tool. Standard iron sword, you can construct this sword just like the Minecraft sword, but in Tinker's Construct, and then have it be subject to Tinker's Construct modifiers and everything else. Alright, this one's one of my favorites. This is the lumber axe, and all you do is, there you go, chop at the base of the tree, whole thing comes to the ground. This is going to save you a tremendous amount of time when you're looking for wood. Go over to the next tree. Let's do that again. Whee! Saplings and bark everywhere. Okay, the next item is the battle axe. Now this is very similar to lumber axe. I'm gonna chop this tree. Falls to the ground. I'd have to run out and find a really big tree to sort of demonstrate this isn't quite as strong as the lumber axe. I'm not sure if... well, this... yes, it didn't take down the whole thing. So there's still some bark up there. So this isn't as good as the lumber axe for chopping down trees. However, it is much more effective at attack. So we got a +8 attack damage and then a +4 attack damage, so it's twice as powerful. If I hold down the right mouse button, ha! And I now have speed, strength, jump boost. Now it has the trade-off that it inflicts some hunger to use that ability. So you'll go through your hunger a little bit more by using the battle axe. But all in all, really great weapon. So next item I want to demonstrate is the scythe. And this is kind of like the hammer, but for plants. Find a good area here to demonstrate it. Click here. Boom! Pretty much in a 9 radius there. Took care of every plant on the ground. Same thing there. So it's pretty good for harvesting, and it also works on tree leaves. If I go over the tree leaves, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Cut away tree leaves like they're nothing. So not too bad if you're farming for apples. Now we get to the gag items. This is probably one of my favorite items here. It's the frying pan. It's a fairly effective weapon. So I just clocked that chicken, and I morphed into him. Let me switch back real quick. So I've got some cooked chicken and I've got some coal on me, and I'm like, well, I got a frying pan. Why don't I use this to cook some stuff up? So I hold shift, right click, boom, oh, there we go. And it's like I've got a portable furnace on me, so I'm just going to put some coals on the fire here. I'm going to throw in my chicken. I'm going to cook it up. And it lets you cook quite a bit of meat, and it just sort of relocates it elsewhere in the frying pan. I don't know if it's like the right-hand side is entirely cooked meat, the left-hand side is the uncooked. It's pretty slow. Like, I've found this doesn't really cook that fast, but it seems to allow you to cook multiple pieces of food at once. So that might be a little bit faster than using multiple furnaces, I don't know. You can only cook food, to my knowledge. You can't use this for smelting. So it's just kind of a funny gag item here. I love that it makes that clang, clang, clang when you punch enemies, and you know, all in all, it's not too bad. And there's my cooked chicken. I'll pick it up and then. So speaking of gag items, got a sign. I can't help but think this was inspired by a Vex map or something. And I hear another chicken, although I don't know if I'm going to find him. I might just spawn. Okay, there you are. Clank! Well, unlocked a hat. We'll wear it. Might as well. So, you know, you just get to clang, and then you get to defend. I believe the defense is pretty good. Uh, I'll do a little more research on it, but again, just sort of a gag sign. I don't know if there's anything in particular. Even the instruction manual for Tinkers states that this is a bit of a joke item. I'm now going to cover the Cleaver. So you swing very slow with this item. That's because when you're wielding it, you always have mining fatigue, which that's one of those ailments that you can't actually get in vanilla Minecraft, but it makes it so that whatever activity you're doing, whatever mining, whatever attack you're doing, it's slow, so you can't attack very fast with it. So, and it also has the ability to decapitate enemies. So I'm gonna. So, but there's a chance to decapitate enemies with the Cleaver. So as you can see, I was able to steal the zombie head. And just about any mob will decapitate, and I'm pretty sure that this makes it so that you get Wither Skeleton skull drops a lot more than you would normally. So that's probably one of the most practical applications of it. I'm now going to demonstrate the excavator. Imagine this as a hammer, but for dirt, sand, and gravel. 9 blocks at once. Look at that. Next is the chisel. So if I right-click on blocks that I can make into chisel blocks, makes a food-eating sound, but basically it makes it so that I can just sort of chisel blocks like this, and I can also, if I still have, do I have stone on me? Let's see here. Get some smooth stone. You can also use the crafting area to create chiseled blocks just like that. And that'll use its durability. And it can function as a weapon. 3 attack damage. But, you know, whatever. But, you know, it's a fun little thing that creates different blocks. So I can just keep going like that. Now the trick is once you sort of created the maximum chisel design, you can't go further, and you can't undo it. So make sure that you've got the blocks pattern that you actually want to use. So this here is the rapier, and I don't have a very good way of demonstrating this. I'd have to spawn in mobs that contain armor, but this essentially allows you to parry by jumping back really, really fast like that, and doesn't really have any consequence. You can sit here and go woo, woo, woo. Every right click is a really fast run away. So it's kind of a parry. And then each attack pierces armor. So in other words, it doesn't actually armor does not apply. So if you're doing PvP or you run into mobs that have been spawned with armor, if you use the rapier, this will deliver all attack damage directly to the mob, and none of it will get absorbed by the armor the mob is wearing. So it's a nice little armor piercing piece of weaponry to have at your arsenal. Okay, and the last items to demonstrate here is the dagger. It's a really, really, really quick attack tool, plus you can right click to throw it. Then you pick it back up again. And the last little group of items I'm not going to talk too much about. There's a hatchet, which is exactly the same thing as an axe from vanilla Minecraft, just made in Tinker's Construct. There's a shovel, exact same idea, just made in Tinker's Construct. I demonstrated the hammer in my last video. You can go watch it there, and of course the pickaxe demonstrated there as well, and it's pretty much just like vanilla Minecraft. Last but not least, you can construct bows and arrows in Tinker's Construct, and they're subject to all sorts of modifiers, including haste to increase draw speed, and there's all sorts of ways that you can increase the damage of the arrows, add things like fire aspect and stuff like that. So I'll cover some of that when I cover modifiers, but for now, suffice it to say, you can create bows, you can create arrows. The bows can use either vanilla Minecraft arrows, or you can use the custom arrows that you create in Tinker's Construct with modifiers. And again, I'll cover that material in a later video. That's it for this video.